like a simple kind of thought I had the other day. Um, it's a thought about creativity, and it's a thought about sort of this paradox that I keep falling into, where I'm extremely passionate about something. I'm extremely passionate about a topic or a theme or something I'm writing about, and I fall into this trap of where I'm so passionate, um, that I kind of lose the subtlety in my writing. And we think about this balance of you know tremendous subtlety versus just being sort of in the face. So for me, a film that I feel is really in the face about its themes and isn't subtle at all is Todd Phillips' Joker. I am not a fan of the film, and I've always found that the film does not embrace subtlety in its writing. Its writing is so in your face about all these themes of, you know, depression, capitalism. It's not subtle about any of it. It's quite literally the characters are quite literally just telling you, you know, how to feel about certain things. And it to me, and I don't want to criticize the film because I don't like criticizing films because I feel like all the films have things that make them charming and things that they contribute to as an art form. And I think Joker, for instance, is shot beautifully. Soundtrack is fantastic. It's a really gorgeous film. But I've never been a fan of the writing. And I guess that sort of thing is what I've fallen into, is where I'm becoming super passionate about the subject I'm writing about or the theme I'm writing about, that I sort of lose sight of the subtlety and even some of the story structure. I'm becoming so enveloped in, oh, this is the theme of the story I'm writing. So the characters are going to do this because it fits the theme, and it's like then at some point it doesn't become a story anymore. It's just kind of nonsense. Like you're just throwing things, you know, just because they fit a theme rather than telling a story. And I think the thing I've struggled with the most is how do I find a balance between, really trying to fit a theme and being subtle. And I think that that's just something I've struggled with. And not all films need to have some central theme or central idea, because films and storytelling is literally that. It's telling a story. You don't always need to have some sort of subtext or some sort of um, meaning behind what you're doing. It could just be a story, and you leave it to the viewer how they want to interpret it. And I think that those stories tend to be some of the most powerful ones for me, because there's a million interpretations, and that's what art should be. Everyone should interpret and feel it differently. And for me, it's different. There's a central theme that I'm really focusing on because it's something I'm incredibly passionate about. But I don't want to constantly allude to that theme, because then I feel like I'm taking, my viewer completely out of that immersion. And to me, the reason I'm writing isn't for the viewer, but I also want to let the audience be able to interpret and be able to sort of get something out of what they're watching, because as much as I'm writing for myself, I also want the audience to feel something. So the question is, how do we balance these things? How do we, tell a story built around a theme while maintaining subtlety, while also maintaining some kind of story structure? We're trying to balance all these things. And now that I'm kind of saying it out loud, I feel like the best way for me to do this is to kind of find some kind of structure. I don't have to plan out the entire thing, but have a general idea of what I want my structure to be. And then from there, I can kind of say, okay, we can do this, we can do that. And I think the thing I need to do is to stop overcomplicating the whole damn thing. Just write a story. You don't have to constantly allude to the theme. The way the story is told, it should be pretty obvious. It shouldn't be in your face, but the audience should be able to sort of understand what is sort of happening, what kind of story you're trying to tell. I don't even, honestly, man, I'm just gonna go back to writing. I got a bottle of wine open. I'm just gonna write.